This is Policy on Demand, your week in review, and I'm Don Carlson. My key takeaways from this week is that the president is getting his hands on the executive branch, as particularly his key staffers are getting put into place. I think that more and more the executive orders have run the major part of their course, and the action will be shifting to the executive agencies and their regulatory process there, as well as the president's pronouncements on exactly what his legislative priorities are. He's doing very well, in my opinion, with regard to his nominees before the Senate, with only a few exceptions. The focus of the Congress remains on the COVID-19 bill, and we're beginning to get to the point where we may see what its course is in the future. The House will vote this week on their version, and every eyes are watching the Senate parliamentarian, and the ruling expected Friday, if not before, as to whether or not the minimum wage can be included. If it's not included, then the focus will be on what is going to be necessary to get the votes in the Senate to pass it, and what changes will be made. The question I got asked most this week is, when is the focus going to switch to taxes? And I think the answer is that right now, while there are some tax provisions in the COVID bill, the next chance would be the infrastructure legislation, which is coming down the pike. But most likely, as my colleagues have told you over the last few weeks, is that the major tax provisions will be in the fiscal 22 budget bill, which needs to be completed by October 1st. In the coming weeks, I think companies should focus their attention on the states and what they're doing in the tax arena, where many are considering taxes on business to close budget gaps, particularly in states where companies have major operations. This could have a far greater immediate impact on their bottom lines. In addition, I think that they should be looking to renew their acquaintances in Washington and develop new ones, because when the tax issues move to the forefront later this year, it's not the time to begin to establish channels to convey your issues and your problems and your input.